I ranked every troop in Island War on a tier list, and things got personal. I talked about how I feel about each one of them, so let's get to it. But before we begin, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for more Island War content. Let's start off with Arctic Wolves. Arctic Wolves are really fast, as you see here. They have 80 speed, and their speed never changes as you upgrade them. At level 8, they can deal 1000 damage, and I do see them being somewhat useful. However, they're not the meta. I'm gonna stick them between B and C for right now. Next, we have the Giant, and look at these hit points at level 9. Also, look at this damage, 18,888. The Giant has the most hit points in the game. It's a heavy single load tank. I'm sticking it in the S tier. You need these bad boys to lead the way for your army. It's best to put them in the front of your boats so that they can take damage and protect your troops behind them. Fire mages aren't all that bad at level 7. They do start to deal over 1000 damage, but they have relatively low health, and I would much rather have airbenders. I'm sticking them in the C tier. The Berserker can start dealing heavy damage at level 3. Look at this, 1200 damage. Plus it has this rage skill which will increase its damage, and their HP ain't half that bad. I'm sticking Berserkers right up the B. I don't think they're in line with Templars, but at low levels, they're really good. Now we have the Halberdier, and I really don't care about them. I'm just gonna stick them in the D tier. Mace Warriors are decent DPS troops. Look at this, they have 1.0 speed, 2592 damage at level 9. I think they're really good on defense. I'm going to stick them between A and B. I would rather have a bunch of tanks and like frost archers behind them than have Mace Warriors. Dwarf Warriors and Halberdiers, they're like the same thing to me. Just stay in the D tier where you belong. If you have these bad boys, they work really well when you're starting out, but you're going to want to fuse them for other troops. The Spear Thrower is like a Peltist from Art of War Legions, but it's blue and has like a dog head. Each time they throw a spear, they will increase the percentage of attack. They are really good. I don't really like to use them. I'm going to stick them in the B tier. I think Spear Throwers work really well before you have a bunch of Frost Archers, but then I would start replacing them for Frost Archers. Speaking of Frost Archers, I think these are the best attacking troops in the game. At level 9, they deal 1875 damage. They're pretty fast. They have decent hit points for a ranged troop. Plus they have this chill skill that shoots arrows and decreases the movement speed of enemy troops. Frost Archers are the meta. If you have a lot of tanks and a lot of Frost Archers, you're going to win a lot of matches. Now we have the Lapidating Giant, which used to be called the Hulking Hurler. I think they work wonder on defense. They cause a lot of AoE damage. They're kind of like a better version of catapults from Art of War Legions. And on offense, like 1 or 2 work really well. However, they are single load troops and they're not tanks, so I really wouldn't go over that. The Templar is a low-key hero. He can wipe out hordes of enemy troops with his skill, but I'm going to stick him between S and A. I don't think he's on par with Frost Archers, and the meta is a bunch of tanks with Frost Archers, and it doesn't really include you Templar. I'm sorry. Next, we have the Nun, and the Nuns are really confusing to rank because Xandis, the leader of TUP, says that they work really well at level 9, and they're not so great at level 8 and below, so I'm just going to stick them between B and C, I guess. If you're using them, stick them in the back. Make sure they don't get hit. Next, we have the Shadow Assassin, and I'm going to stick them in the A tier. Assassins can get Frost Archers and other troops up on platforms. Plus, they can jump over enemy lines. At level 9, they can deal over 1000 damage, and I think that's really shine. I often use these Assassin boys on 2 different boats so I can attack with 2 different Frost Archers from 2 different angles. Now we have the Airbender, and I'm going to stick the Airbender between S and A. The Airbender has a really good skill that can disable ranged units from attacking, and it can deal a ton of damage from level 4 and above. I mean, look at this at level 9. It has 45,000 health points and over 3,000 damage. I am not the biggest fan of crossbowmen. I'm going to stick them in the C tier. They do have a skill that will shoot multiple arrows, but I'm not scared of them. If I see them on your base, I'm going to attack you. At level 5, the Frost Titans can start dealing over 1000 damage, and they really start to shine. I'm sticking them in the S tier. They don't have as much HP as Giants, but they can deal a lot of damage, and they have this really good skill that basically freezes enemies just like Frost Archers. Swordsmen are basic infantry troops. I'm going to stick them in the F tier. If you have them, fuse them. Archers are also in the F tier. I mean, they're not terrible, but I would rather fuse them. Spearmen, same as swordsmen, except I think they have more damage. F tier, doesn't matter, get out of here. Bombers take up space. They are single load troops that just explode. They might not even take out a building or the troops you're trying to go after. I don't want to see them. I'm going to stick the heal wizard between C and D. If you have them on your island, I'm not scared of them and I'm going to attack them, but I have seen them work on defense. However, I would never, ever, ever use them on offense. I would much rather use level 9 nuns. A lot of people love the snowman and use him early on. I'm sticking him in the C tier. He's basically an ice mage from Art of War Legions. He has a really good skill that will damage the enemy and reduce their movement speed. Brawlers recently got a new skill in the game called Withstand. It's the same thing as Art of War Legions. It will deploy a shield after it attacks the enemy 4 times. However, I'm going to stick them between B and C. I do think nuns would be in the S tier at level 9. I just want to mention that before I go any further. But brawlers are between B and C. There might be a use for them at the end of fights where they can protect your giants and your frost archers behind them. However, their health is just too low. It's 7,200 at level 9. Last but not least, we have the hunting gunner, and I'm going to stick the hunting gunner in the C tier. I think the hunting gunner does have hope, but I have not seen that just yet. It might be a really good counter to giants and frost titans, but for now, I'm just not seeing it. It's in the C tier. That does it for all the troops in Island War. In the S tier, we have the giant, the frost archer, and the frost titan, followed by the templar and the airbender, and in the A tier, we have shadow assassins. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know how you would rank each troop in Island War down in the comments below, and smash like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.